Gotta thank Yahuah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of Mashiach. Whoa, yeah. I gotta thank Yahuah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of the Mashiach. Whoa.
Shalom, Yashar'el. Doesn't it almost seem like 100% of the time that every time you talk to family members concerning who we are as a people, even with just bucket loads of proof upon proof, just seems like they're stuck in the matrix? And no matter what, it's like they'll turn around and fight you and call you a cult member, call you wicked, and call you a devil because you choose to practice your heritage, your very own birthright that was given to us in the very beginning. Well, in this discussion, we're going to discuss a few things. For one, we're going to discuss the very denial of our own people, who they are, and not only the denial of our own people, but the denial of the whole world. Now, when you look at everything that's been transpiring from the last 3 years, and just 3 years alone, it's just like so much has happened. All right. Now, one thing you have to realize when it comes to the world elites and the ones who are running everything, they know too well how the human psyche works. Now, I don't even have to go into detail to explain what that looks like, but you all know how well they do this. They are very professional at it and have become very proficient at it. And they can get the whole world to believe just about anything. All right. We saw that, for an example, with COVID, and y'all all know how that went down. And now people are realizing differently. All right. But it's already too late. But see, they know how well the human psyche works, and they know certain levels, certain buttons that they can push and get away with, and they can cause pretty much the whole world to buy in anything, just about anything they put their minds or whatever agendas that they set out there. They can pretty much cause the whole world to buy into their agendas. And look, Yashar'el, we've already seen plenty of examples of that, especially when it comes to dealing with us. Now, there's something else that's brewing up behind the scenes, something so huge and something so big that the world elites have been preparing for this for many, many years. Now, we don't know exactly when this is going to take place, when it's going to happen. It could be 10 years from now, 20, 40, 50, 100, 200, who knows? We don't know when this is going to happen, but it is going to take place. So let me just bring this point out. So let's go to Revelation chapter 13, Revelation chapter 13, and I'm just going to read verses 15 and 16. And it goes on to say, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So remember that little time of trouble I was talking about that we've never seen before, that's going to be so horrific? We don't know what this is going to look like. Let's continue. Verse 16. And he calls it, and this is what I want to really bring out, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. And you all know the rest of that. But the point that I wanted to bring out was in verse 16, where it says he calls it all. You know, that's all. That's talking about everybody, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. Now, you had a lot of people who were thinking that, oh, this COVID shot was it. No, that's not the mark of the beast. Now, that may be a practice up to see how many people they can get, because I can tell you right now, if you look up the world stats as far as how many people that have taken the jab, it's over 6 billion. Did y'all know that? It's over 6 billion. So they successfully were able to get over 6 billion people to take that jab. Now, what do you think that's going to lead up to? If they can convince the world to do that, there is no limits. There is no limits what they can accomplish or what they can do to get the whole world to accept something else. They just have to create a red flag. They have to create such a scare that it would cause the whole world to buy into their agenda. And like I said before, they are very good at it. They know how to push those buttons and which buttons to push to make everybody believe what they want them to believe. All right, Yashar'el, let's go ahead and just take a step back for a minute. Let's reverse this thing before I get too far into this discussion. Now, what has been the main focal point of the world elites for a very long time? What is their number one primary mission? Now, if you said it, to completely wipe out all the Negroes, the true Israelites scattered to the four corners, then you're absolutely right. That is their ultimate primary mission. But we already know that's not going to happen, but they're going to try. The book of Psalms, chapter 83, starting with verse 2. For lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against your hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yashar'el may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The book of Psalms, chapter 2, starting with verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahuah and against his Mashiach, saying, let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. Adonai shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Tsiyon. So why all the denial against us? Now, some of you may be thinking, well, if the world elites know who we are as a people, and they've been planning our demise for centuries, then how come they just can't come out and admit it, who we are as a people? How come they can't just admit it, that what they've been doing for so many years, so many centuries? I mean, how come they can't just come out and admit that? You know, you would think that would be something that they would do. I mean, if they really truly knew who we are as a people, then why fight it? Why go against the grain? Well, I will tell you why. Because for them to come out and say that would mean the end of their kingdom. You see, Yashar'el, because they know what's coming. They know that they are going into captivity. They know the history of our people. Matter of fact, they know the history of our people better than we do. They know how King David sawed in half his enemies. They know how King David made slaves of his enemies if they rose up against his people. See, we didn't play that, and we had a certain unity that was so strong, and they know that as well. I'm telling you, these people, they know more than what we give them credit for as far as our history. That's why they spend billions. Now, let me take that back. They spend trillions of dollars trying to hide our history and doing everything they can to put stumbling blocks to keep you, that's right, you Negroes scattered to the four corners, to keep you in ignorance. So they throw all these distractions in your face to keep you blinded while in the meantime, the Most High is working in the background to wake our people up, or better yet, to get their attention. Now, have you all been paying attention to what's been going on as far as the so-called Israeli and the Gaza war? This is huge. You want to know why it's huge? Because it affects us as a people. Now, you may say, okay, now make this make sense. How is this? What does this have to do with us? And how is this going to affect us? Well, one thing you have to realize, Yashar'el, now, these people were set up in 1948 by the U.S. and the UN. All right, that's a no-brainer. No one on this earth can argue that these people were set up, the Khazars, they were set up by the U.S. and the UN in 1948. You know, there was some pre-preps way before that, of course, but the official date of them becoming a state. All right. So what does that mean? That means that their so-called identity has to be protected. The lies have to be protected at above all costs, at any cost. It has to be protected. So what's happening with this war, and that's going on right now, there's a lot of things that are being disassembled. The Most High is really working these pieces together. And while, you know, we're going on about our businesses and what have you, no one's really paying attention, especially our people. But this is huge, because when they fall, and they will, when they fall, guess what? The world is going to look and they're going to be like, hey, you know, what's going on? I thought these people were supposed to be God's chosen people. I thought these were the ancient Israelites of old. You see, the truth is coming out. The truth is slowly coming out, but it's coming out. I mean, it's very evident. The scripture specifically says, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Now, all these think tanks that these demon seeds have sat around and talked about our demise for hundreds of years, everything is coming to the light. The Most High is bringing all that filth to the surface, and we ain't seen nothing yet. And it's gonna become more and more intense as the years go by. And you know what's so crazy? There's been so many whistleblowers that came out and admitted this. Hey, these people are an imposter. You know, you have, and I'm pretty sure most of you read the book, The Invention of a Jewish People. You got the 13th tribe by Arthur Koestler. You got many more stuff out there with facts upon facts of evidence to prove that those people who are claiming to be who they think they are, you know, and trying to claim to be us, they're not. They're just not. But again, this goes back to the whole denial part. And this is what I was saying in the beginning, that the world elites are very good. They know how the psyche works. All right. They know how the mind works. So no matter what you come out and try to say, it's not going to matter, because in their eyes, we are a joke. And see, it's not mine or your job to try to convince anyone who you are. Your job mainly is to get back to these laws, commandments, and statutes and work out your salvation with fear and trembling. The Most High is going to be the one that does the revealing. And again, you know, our people are becoming knowledgeable who they are. That don't really, I mean, that's all good and dandy, you know, but at the end of the day, guess what? The world is still going to believe a lie. So don't even waste your time trying to convince them. It's not your job to convince them. You know, you practice the righteous acts and you continue in your heritage and let the pieces fall where they lay, because the Most High is the one that's bringing down strongholds. It is the Most High that's going to lay down the anchor. And trust me, Yashar'el, when the Most High, when the Almighty lets down that 144,000 ton anchor, is going to bust through the floor. And look what's happening in Ukraine. See, the U.S. was banking on Ukraine being victorious because they thought that they can send Ukraine all these weapons. Now, understand, this is where these Khazarians come from. And see, the Most High already shut that down in 2013. Go look up the return, the pass of return, the Ukraine pass of return of 2013. It's going to blow your mind because a lot of people from those Khazars in Jerusalem were trying to flee back to Ukraine during 2013, but Russia shut that down with a quickness. And now that Russia has pretty much taken back Ukraine, all of Ukraine have ran out of sons because most of them have all been killed. All right, but they're not telling you this in mainstream media. They're keeping this like under the tables. Why? Because they know that all their little follies, all their plans are being spoiled. And really, it's the Most High who is spoiling all their plans. See, Yashar'el, everything that is happening, all that is happening is because of his people. It's just a shame that our people are so caught up in the matrix that they can't see it. They don't get it. They don't want to get it. Our people have a rich history right before their very eyes. The laws, commandments, and statutes, the feast days. But yet our people want to turn to the holidays. And one thing I hate when our people say, well, we know that these days are pagan, but we only do it for the sake of the kids. Y'all need to stop that. Teach your kids our feast days so that they don't have to celebrate those holidays. Teach them our feast days. Get them grafted into use to celebrating the righteous acts. All right, stop saying that you're doing this for the sake of the kids. That don't make any sense. It's like basically you're saying that you're going to continue to keep these kids in wickedness. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Tell them the truth. Let them see for themselves what we have been disinherited from. See, I guarantee you the demon seed is not going to give you your history. They don't want you practicing these righteous acts. They don't want you to keep the commandments of the Almighty. They want to see you continue in ignorance. They want us to continue to be a laughing stock. If it was their choice, I'm gonna tell you something. If they had the power, and if it was up to them, we'd be back in chains, like literally, like in shackles. If it was left up to them. And see, when people, or when you see these conservatives, they talking about being conservative and everything in politics. Basically, what they're saying is they want to continue the status quo. The status quo is we want to continue to see our brothers and sisters, black people, shooting each other up in the streets. We want to continue to see the rate of single motherhood go up and up. We want to continue to see the increase of the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We want to continue to see the increase of homosexuality, transgenderism, and lesbianism in the black communities. That is the status quo to them. And you know what? We are doing a hell of a job giving that to them. And our people are definitely living in the matrix. And they will fight you to the death if you try to give them truth. But you know what? Don't worry, Yashar'el, because hey, when it's time, the Most High will reveal his people to the whole world. All right. But right now, it's just not our time. Jeremiah 16:19. O Yahuah, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The other nations shall come unto you from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. You're not going to convince anybody of yourself that you're the true Israelites. That don't matter in the eyes of the demon seed. That don't matter to them. You're a joke to them. Get back to these laws, commandments, and statutes. That's where the power is going to be. You do that, that's when you're going to start seeing all hell break loose. When our people are truly, truly crying out. And guess what? It's going to happen. The Most High is going to put us through something so fierce that we're not going to have no other choice but to cry out. So until then, make haste to practice these righteous acts of the Almighty. And I say shalom and stay strong.
I'm here to encourage you, brothers and sisters, trying to paint to you a better picture. Everything I say, I back it up with the scriptures to get you out the matrix. It's been over 400 years of life. You gotta open up your eyes, 'cause there's so many reasons we in captivity. You gotta flee from the heathens. There is hope in our future, even though they trying to do a scene. But we live to fight another day. Vengeance is Yah. We'll be praying for Yahuah. Gotta thank Yahuah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Whoa. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah, and the faith of Mashiach. Oh, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. I gotta thank Yahuah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah, and the faith of the Mashiach. Oh, whoa, hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Do, do, da, da, da. Do, be, do, be, do, be, do, do, da, da. Do, be, do, 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 da, da. Do, 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 da, do. Be, do, da, do, 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 da, 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 da. Do, be, do, be, do, 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 da, 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 da. Do, 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 do.